Good morning students. Welcome to Chemistry online class. We have started 6th chapter Combustion and Flame. Last week we learned what is combustion, fuel and ignition temperature. Now we can list out what are the essential requirements for combustion. First one, fuel. Second one, oxygen. Third one, heat. We can discuss in detail. Fuel means the substance should be a fuel or combustible. Fuel can only undergo combustion. Second requirement, oxygen. Presence of oxygen or air support burning. In the absence of air, burning can't take place. Third one, heat. At room temperature, the fuel doesn't produce or doesn't catch fire. The fuel heated to its ignition temperature. When it attains its ignition temperature, beyond that temperature, it catches fire. So, these three things are essential for burning or combustion. Once again, fuel, presence of air or oxygen, and third one is heat. You might have heard or seen fire breaking out in homes, factories or shops. In that case, such a situation we have to control fire. So control fire, we need to remove one or more requirements from this list. Children, you might have seen in your surrounding spreading of fire to leaves of some other plants from burning of some waste material, isn't it? Such a situation, how do we control fire? Yes, normally we pour water over the fire. Here, water acts as a fire extinguisher. How the water control fire? Yes, we have discussed just before. Remove the two requirements from that list. We pour water on fire. That means water on this combustible material. Water cools down the combustible material. Hence, it brought down the temperature below the ignition temperature. So, it prevents the fire from spreading. The water vapor formed surround the combustible material. It also helping to cut off the supply of oxygen. So, the fire is extinguished. Here water bring down the temperature and also cut off the supply of air. The job of the fire extinguisher either to cut off the supply of air or to bring down the temperature of fuel, or both. What is the most common fire extinguisher? By using water, we bring down the temperature of fuel. But water is not the best fire extinguisher. Water works only the things like wood, pepper, dry leaves, etc. catch fire. If the electrical equipment on fire, we shouldn't apply water as fire extinguisher because water may conduct electricity. So, it is dangerous to those trying to extinguish fire. Water is also not a good fire extinguisher in the case of oil and petrol on fire, because water is heavier than oil. I think all of you know about it. So what happened? Water always sinks below oil. Here water is heavier than oil, so water sinks below oil. So the oil lie on top and keep on burning. It leads to spreading of fire more and more. In that situation, so in the case of electrical equipment and oils and petrol, we can use carbon dioxide as a fire extinguisher. I think you may see in schools, factories, institutions, shops, these carbon dioxide cylinders. When this electric equipment catch fire, we spray carbon dioxide gas. So, it covers the fire like a blanket. Carbon dioxide is heavier than oxygen. So, carbon dioxide lie below oxygen layer. That means its fire, carbon dioxide cover like a blanket and the oxygen level is, so it cut off the contact between fuel and oxygen. So the supply of air is cut off. The added advantage of carbon dioxide is it does not harm, in most cases, it does not harm the electrical equipment. Next we can discuss how do we get the supply of carbon dioxide gas. The carbon dioxide is stored at high pressure in the form of liquid in cylinders, in red cylinders. I think almost all you have noticed in shops, institutions, etc. It is stored just like LPG gas stored in cylinders. At the time of fire, it released from cylinders and it expands enormously in volume. That means it expands to large volume and it cools down the temperature. It acts in the form of blanket to cut off the supply of oxygen. It also brings down the temperature. So the fuel can't burn furthermore. That's why carbon dioxide is called excellent fire extinguisher. It cut off the supply of oxygen, also brings down the temperature. Another way to get carbon dioxide gas to release some dry powder of chemicals like sodium bicarbonate or potassium bicarbonate. Near the fire, these chemicals give off carbon dioxide. So we can conclude today's session. Today we discussed how do we control fire, which is the best fire extinguisher and how it works. Children, in this context, I want to inform you it's very important that all of us know the telephone number of fire service. So, today itself, Find out the telephone number of fire service in your locality. If fire break out in your home or neighborhood, the first thing is to do is to inform or to call fire service. So as usual, I have attached notes as well as test paper. All you have to attend the test paper. I have attached a link. Please watch it. So we can meet in the next session. Children, take care. Thank you.